Hello guys,
Hi everyone,
I am Valdemar.
and I'm Veronica.
And today we are watching a video from a channel called History Dose. And the title of the video is What a Samurai versus Mongol Battle Really Looked Like. And yeah, I can watch this video, but I am sort of an expert of the subject because I beat the first Ghost of Tsushima 2 times, the second one also. And
Also 2 times?
No, just one. But the second one is not about Mongols. The first one is about Mongols. So I single-handedly beat the entire Mongol army.
So you know what those battles look like.
I'm an expert.
Yeah, and in fact, I played 2/3 of the first game, I think. And I know how it ends because I played with you, but I played on hard mode by myself.
I hope you know what we are talking about. There's this game called Ghost of Tsushima.
I think, yeah.
It's on not Mongol invasion of Japan by not by Genghis Khan, but by his descendants.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
we know what stances to use. Like there's different stance to use against heavy enemies, and there's different stance to use about the ones with the spears.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll learn more about that.
And sometimes you need to be less honorable. You need to act as a ghost.
Yes. Apparently, found this video because there were really a lot of reactions to it.
Mm-hmm.
And this channel has a series of these videos, and there's a different one, like how a gunfight really looked like. Mm-hmm. A gun duel. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. So if you guys like it, then let us know if we should watch any other videos from this channel. Because I've seen quite a few that I was intrigued by. We'll see how this one works. But someone recommended it to us under our Napoleon reactions, because apparently there's a couple about the naval battle as well. But those are less popular, so I just wanted to double check first if we like the vibe or not with their best video. And yeah.
Let's see this one.
We'll see.
History Dose. It's the first video from this channel we are watching.
The islanders of Tsushima noticed them first. The dark figures cutting across the Pacific horizon one evening in 1274. Local governor So Sukakuni knows what's coming. He rallies 80 mounted samurai and leads them through the mountains toward the beach. The invasion fleet lurches forward. The samurai look outnumbered.
Well, yeah.
6 years ago, the Mongol ruler Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, sent a letter to Japan's Kamakura government. Innumerable people in far-off lands have learned to fear our power and have longed for our virtuous rule. Moreover, the sages consider the entire universe one family. Therefore, if we should not establish friendly relations with each other, how could it be in accordance with the doctrine of one family? Who would care to appeal to arms? It's seemingly an offer to peacefully submit to Kublai Khan and become subjects of the Mongols. Yet to reject his proposal is to flirt with apocalypse, Holocaust.
Why use the word Holocaust? I mean, that's very weird.
Yeah, it has a wider meaning, but I think it's
it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. Like, that's the point. Like, and you are a historical channel. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be a little bit critical about this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like,
there are other words.
Like, Holocaust is a Jewish word. It's a Jewish word, and it means like a sacrificial sacrifice, and it's about a certain event in time. It's about the massacre of Jews during the Second World War. You don't use this word to describe other genocides. You don't use this word to describe, and especially not if invasion
it's just
on Japan.
A theoretical one, right?
Yeah.
Well,
that's very weird from a historical channel.
That is a little bit weird.
The sublime cities of the Islamic world, the opulent kingdoms of Russia, mighty domain of imperial China, have been defiled, burned, gutted.
It's very poetical language.
Millions of men, women, and children butchered by the Mongols. For unknown reasons, Kublai Khan has decided that Japan should now bend the knee to his empire. Japan's government responds by ignoring his letter.
Maybe they didn't know the language.
So Sukakuni is first to suffer the consequences. At dawn, 1,000 Mongols charge the beach.
1,000 against 80?
Samurai are masters of the blade, but they are first and foremost horse archers. The Japanese fight in small, disparate bands of samurai warriors and their followers. They prefer to pick off individual targets at range. This initially works against the Mongols, and Tsushima's defenders cut down many of the oncoming invaders. But Mongol tactics are foreign and overwhelming. Mongol domination has come on the backs of battle-worn nomads trained in horse archery since childhood. They launch synchronized charges in units, raining mass volleys of arrows down on clumps of enemies. When the exhausted enemy herds begin to thin, they charge the gaps and look to finish the battle with axes and swords. Here, the samurai's mastery of both grappling on horseback and unmounted sword warfare becomes crucial. In the melee, one samurai shatters his sword, and a shower of Mongol arrows kill him. The defenders of Tsushima are outnumbered. The bodies of Sukakuni and his followers are left on the beach, and by midday, the Mongol invasion of Tsushima is unstoppable. Local buildings are burned, inhabitants slaughtered. The Mongols do the same.
I think what didn't help the Japanese at this time is that Japan is made out of all those islands. So I think
difficult to get reinforcements.
And yeah, the reinforcements and also the communication to let know the other island that they are coming. Yeah. So that I think was one of the problems. Also, do you know that this was the largest empire ever?
Yes,
the Mongol Empire,
but
the largest empire in terms of like one land.
Yeah.
Because the largest ever actually was the British Empire.
Yeah.
But it was, in different regions.
Yeah, but in terms of like a connected.
Yeah, there is a word for that. But empire in one part of land. Then the Mongol Empire is the biggest one in history.
It's very interesting because, I don't know, let us know, guys, from your countries. I guess most of you are American, but in your education system, do you learn a lot about this? Because I think we had maybe like 1 or 2 lessons at school throughout all of the year's education about the Mongol Empire. It's just very skimmed over.
Oh, there was something.
Something, but not much.
But
you learn a lot about different cultures, but the Asian culture is largely overlooked.
But we learn about them because they invaded Poland too.
Yeah, but only in that context. But well.
To the island of Iki before advancing toward the mainland. The fleet comes into view and drops anchor, revealing the Mongol flair for psychological warfare. Their bows are adorned with female islanders dangling from a rope strung through their palms. An onslaught of Mongol horse archers charge the beach to the tune of signals from gongs and drums. They launch ear-splitting gunpowder bombs, sending Japanese horses staggering backward. Then they swing hooks and other weapons to rip the Japanese from their mounts. The Mongols generally navigate the battlefield wearing versatile light armor and carrying personal shields, while the more heavily armored samurai only use shields as stationary protective walls for their archers. The samurai are relentless sharpshooters. Their counterattacks force some of the Mongols to retreat and regroup. One samurai, Takazaki Suenaga, is eager to make a name for himself. Japanese warriors are compensated by the shogunate government only when they can offer proof of their own exceptional deeds. Proof which often takes the form of eyewitness accounts or enemy heads. Suenaga has tracked the retreating Mongols to an encampment. One of his followers warns him not to charge, to wait for reinforcements, but Suenaga answers, "The way of the bow and arrow is to do what is worthy of reward. Charge!" The Mongols let fly a volley of arrows, wounding Suenaga and his 3 retainers. Suenaga presses on until an arrow drills into his horse and he's thrown to the ground, helpless. Suddenly, a charge of reinforcements storms forward, saving his life. The Mongol counterattack is brutal. The Japanese scatter and retreat inland, while the invaders lay waste to many of the homes and shrines along the coast. And then, they leave. There appears to have been a storm prior to their departure. Some accounts claimed it wrecked much of the Mongol fleet, while others state it was simply a fortuitous wind that gave the demoralized Mongol fleet the opportunity to sail back to Korea.
What? Why?
The Mongols may have realized they lacked the manpower to occupy southern Japan. Whatever the case, the Mongols are gone. For Japan, it's now time to grieve and rebuild.
Interesting, right?
So this
they
is
won and
this is what happened? Like really? So they only went to those 2 islands, they won, and then they came back?
It's really strange, right?
Yeah, like it's missing something.
It's the following year that Mongol emissaries arrive in Japan, reiterating Kublai Khan's request to submit to Mongol rule. Hojo Tokamune, the de facto ruler of Japan, has been beheaded. Later emissaries suffer the same fate. Tokamune knows the Mongols won't forget this. He constructs 12 miles of high stone walls on the coast of Japan. Another vital part of Japanese defense is prayer. The emperor, still an important religious figure in Japan, orders shrines to pray for peace and curse the Mongols.
Okay. Why not?
Why not
Yet the
try?
Mongol Empire only grows in power. They've crushed the last of China's southern Song dynasty, absorbed its mighty navy, and constructed a massive new fleet. In the years since the invasion, Kublai Khan has had time to orchestrate the downfall of Japan.
Okay, so round 2.
In 1281, a Mongol fleet arrives on Tsushima.
Oh, it's fighting century.
Defending
Okay.
samurai are crushed. Villagers run to the mountains, but the Mongols follow the cries of fleeing children and hunt them down. They again occupy Iki and attack the mainland. But this time, the guarded coastal walls prevent the Mongols from establishing a position on land. The Mongol fleet is forced
Okay, so it
to
was a good
float
idea.
ominously in the bay, planning island raids. The samurai sense vulnerability. They take sandbars and small boats out to the Mongol ships, clamber aboard, and fight.
That's so brave, right?
One, called Kawano Michiari, takes 5 followers and bounds over choppy seas in 2 small boats. As they near a Mongol vessel, an enemy archer kills his uncle. 2 more arrows carve into Michiari's shoulder and left arm as he climbs aboard. He ignores the wounds, unsheathes his sword, kills a large Mongol, and captures an officer. Takazaki Suenaga is also eager to join the fray.
I mean, it's brave, but I also have this feeling, and like game kind of focuses on that they were not very like smart
Modern. Yeah.
when it came to the actual war. They had this code of honor, and
Yeah, that was
and
completely impractical.
yeah, but they were not prepared to fight against foreigners
Yes.
with different belief system, and like they were not prepared to fight an actual war against larger numbers. And you can see that, you know, they have 80 people fighting the entire army, and they can be a great warriors, you know, but you need to have actual units of soldiers.
Also, I wonder how scary it must be if you are like a samurai and you're raised in this belief for honor and everything is so organized and there is a specific way that you hold the sword and a specific way that you fight and everything looks kind of very organized. And then you have this hordes of what seems to like barbarians who are like they said, like swinging some kind of weapons on chains
and using things like
yeah.
gunpowder, for example,
Yeah.
which you do not know in Japan at this time.
It must have looked so horrible to them. Very scary.
But that's the cost of being isolated island like Japan, you know, not having trade established with the rest of the world.
Yeah, there was.
I think they traded with China at this point and
There
Korea.
are this strange. I already forgot, but there are this strange. Like the samurais were really long, were really long in Japan, and then when you compare it to what was happening in Europe, this like it's very strange disparity. I think we already had print, and they still had samurais, and like we had muskets and
samurais.
everything.
I think samurais were a thing until like the 19th century. I think
it's very very strange.
But it was like going 2 things at the same time, because there was this point in Japan when Japan, you know, was doing business with England. So you had like this part of Japan that was more into integration with the rest of the world, but there was also a large number
like
of Japanese
one.
people who didn't want to like meddle with the Europeans, and they wanted to keep things traditional, which I can see like arguments for both of those things.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, that finally you need to realize that you cannot not change.
Yeah.
Squeezes onto an outgoing Japanese boat, storms a Mongol ship, and attacks the crew. The Mongols are bleeding supplies, but in midsummer the momentum seems to shift. Their massive southern fleet from the newly conquered southern China reaches Japan. The invading army is now 3 times as large as it was in the previous invasion. A tight battle at Takashima Island forces a Japanese retreat. Then the skies blacken. Sails flutter, waves swell. A typhoon overtakes the bay, devouring hundreds of Mongol ships.
Again.
Soldiers are thrown overboard, vessels dashed against the rocks. The surviving Mongol ships cut anchor and abandon the invasion.
Again, the same. And like,
The next day, thousands of Mongols
imagine these people, like everyone who was praying for the success, and then they come, and the second time they are defeated by the storm. Like I am subscribing to that religion.
Right?
dead and alive, wash up on Japanese beaches and float by on driftwood. One straggler, Chang, has been stranded on an island for 3 days without food. He and other survivors plan to cut down trees, build ships, and sail home. But they're captured by Japanese who are surveying the area. Uninterested in forgiveness, the Japanese execute every Mongol, Korean, and northern Chinese they find. They view the southern Chinese as old allies of Japan, only recently forced under Mongol control. They spared the lives of the newly submitted, saying that they were people of the Tang dynasty and made them slaves instead. I, Chang, was one of them.
And that's why we know his name. I wonder.
The invasion is over. Takazaki Suenaga, now in his mid-30s, will have his exploits documented in scrolls and will present testimonies and Mongol heads to receive rewards from the government. Samurai like Kawano Michiari will be honored as heroes. Kublai Khan and the Mongol Empire had famously laid claim to the entire universe, yet for the final time they've tried and failed to claim Japan.
So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And maybe even consider making a donation to our Patreon account.
How did you like it?
Yeah, at the beginning, like I said, the thing about the Holocaust was very weird. But yeah, it was condensed.
I liked it. It was a bit short. I'm intrigued, but I liked the style a lot. Because this is the first time we're watching, so I think it's fair
It's
to comment
different
on that
than
as well.
others, and it's nice.
Yeah.
I think I prefer the epic history style with
Me
like the
too.
maps and
Yeah.
detailed
And a bit
description.
slower. This was definitely, I think this was more for someone who like, okay, I played the game and I'm curious to find out a little bit more about it. And like I watch maybe 10 historical videos a year, whereas epic history is really for like history fans.
And like I wouldn't watch this second time. Like with epic history,
Yes.
like I understand people who are watching our reactions and they like to rewatch the series because you pick up new things again. Like because at the beginning, for example, you don't remember all the names of all the marshals, and then you watch again and you can pick
spot
things again, and you have deeper knowledge. Like every time, every rewatch, you remember more and more.
Yeah.
And this is just like a curiosity,
Yeah, but I think it's a nice,
it adds something, but if someone knows about it, he won't learn anything more.
Yeah, but it's really like pleasant visually. It was fun to
Yeah,
see, and
it
I
was
think
pleasant
it's
visually, yes.
I think it's just like the audience is different. So like if you maybe are not interested in history that much, maybe it's like nice so you learn a little bit, and maybe it will make you more intrigued to find out other things. I don't know.
I like that it's very like
It's not what I expected.
easy to digest,
Yes.
with the form. It's like it's short, it's visually interesting.
Yeah, but it's not what I expected. I expected that it would be more like informative and more even like a one-to-one because it says like what did the battle really look like. So I was thinking I will find out like I don't know what landscape they were fighting or what were the weapons made out of.
And
like
what are the myths?
Yeah.
That we believe and what was the reality, and like the title is kind of misleading.
Yeah,
I must
the title
say.
is a little bit misleading.
But yeah, it's
But it was
okay.
great.
I don't hate.
Not hate?
No.
Okay, that's good then.
Thank you for watching with us.
Thank you.
Have a good day and subscribe to this channel
Yes,
if you don't
please.
do it.
And if you like our historical reaction, then we do also have a membership where we have more historical reactions.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.